Hi guys, welcome back to Down the Rabbit Hole. I am Chibi, followed by my... Wait, what? Wait! Why'd you look at me like that? You messed it up. Now I gotta redo it. I'm gonna restart.
No, we're good. We're gonna keep rolling. This is live.
That's what you think.
I'm Chibi. This is Ken, Brad, and Jack. Tonight we are here to talk about one of my personal favorite animes, which is Death Parade. If you guys don't know what Death Parade is, it's an anime I strongly suggest. It definitely has some mature themes to it. So for those that are fair-hearted, it's not for you, but it is really good. I think it came out in 2015. It's an original, so there's no manga for it, unfortunately. Trust me, I looked. I tried to binge it. I couldn't.
It is based off of something though.
Is it really?
It's based off a short movie called Death Billiards. Just
really?
FYI.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Billiards. Let me look
Oh
that
shit.
up.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just remember I was like, wow, there's no manga. I can't like satisfy.
Brad is the true fan here.
Literally, Brad knows more than me.
I actually did my research. I read the wiki. Okay. I read the wiki.
This man watched 7 episodes. And was like, I know more. I know everything now.
But with that, let's get started. What were your guys' kind of like initial thoughts when watching it? Cup Dog, we'll go first for you, sir.
Well, fine then. It looked. I liked the art style of it.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. Right? It was there wasn't like the main character, the I would assume the bartender.
Decium?
Right?
Or Decim?
Yeah. Dewey Decimal. He like as far as main characters go, like he wasn't like it wasn't about him, right? I don't know. It was more of the episodes that I watched. It was more of just like individual stories that just happened while he was there, right? And every story was 2 people come in, you slowly find more information about them, and then there's like kind of a twist right before the end happens, right? It's like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen, and it was just that over and over.
I think if you watch all of them, you probably would be more satisfied because in essence, like all of these stories help him and the other girl, what was her name? Chiyuki?
Yeah, Chiyuki.
Yeah, help Chiyuki, come to the final conclusion, which is the last episode. But I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, but I disagree.
And it was also like not happy. Like it was just like
I mean, there's
moments.
2 episodes that are really happy.
There's so, like there was some humor in there, but like it was just not a fun thing to watch. It was
no, it's a very serious anime.
Yeah,
it's very serious.
Once again, that's just not my cup of tea.
With the
I mean, surprisingly not mine either, but
the opening of it is very
it's so baiting, dude.
Very
like,
misleading.
Yeah.
So baiting. Jack, what did you think?
I liked it. I like them darker shows, as you guys have learned.
I
need
Jack to grow his hair out. Just go emo the entire time.
I like it, bro.
Oh my god, like covering one eye. Oh my god, yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. It's I mean, it is sad. It's a lot of different they try to put some meaningful stories in there, and you know, the whole Decim kind of becoming human thing is something that was interesting. And learning to have feelings, and then Chiyuki's story to help that along. I really enjoyed the stories. I think I was a little bit confused though, because when it started, it's like it's typical. They said, it's usually one person that comes in and plays the game, but
Right.
when opportunity, it's rare that it's rare that 2 people die together at the same time or something like that.
Yeah.
So for it to happen, to be rare, and then happen the
episode.
entire fucking season.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I liked it.
Okay, Ken, what about you? I know this is your second time watching it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it since 2015 when it came out.
Yeah, same.
I forgot how good it was, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the opening is very misleading, but
it's so good though.
But this is like the type of don't know if you'd call it like a psychological thriller. It's more like philosophy, right? When you think about it.
I'd say a little psychological, but yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say
Well, I
philosophical.
think the episodes, like the way they unravel, is more like a psychological thriller, like a small
Mhm.
detective story. But really, it's like the philosophy of like life and death, what happens afterwards, how we should be judged as people, that type of stuff.
Mhm.
Nope.
It's something you don't expect, right? Nah. It's something you don't expect, especially like considering, it feels like, you have to have that. You have like these episodes that aren't connected. They're connected very loosely, right? They're connected because of Decca and Chiyuki, essentially.
Mhm.
But like, it is like it's interesting because it goes from like being a very cruel anime, if you think about it, like the way they were
Mhm.
trying to introduce like the most extreme kind of stimuli, right, to each
Yeah.
of their tests. Like they weren't like just like, hey, let's just have them act normally. It's like, nah, dude, if you put like this fucking cruel ass like experiment, like let's throw darts, but the darts are connected to an organ. It's like, what the fuck?
Dude, I remember when I first watched it, I
type
was
of
like,
saw-
what the
What type
fuck
of
is this? Like,
saw shit is
yeah,
this?
like anything I could
Aw,
expect.
yeah.
I was like, what?
And as you go along throughout the season, like you realize it's pretty much, Deckham obviously wants to know about, people, unlike the other arbiters who are just like, fuck it, let's just play the game, we're doing the
Yeah.
thing. Like Deckham actually has a real interest, but the way he's interested is essentially the same way he's like still working like the other arbiters, like introducing extreme stimuli and extreme situations
Mhm.
to get like this, this reaction, which obviously is fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I was just super intrigued. Like I felt like the softer moments of the show are like its real standouts, like episode 10 with the grandma, right?
Yeah.
The old mangaka. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like my
Dude.
favorite episode
Yeah.
because it just kind of showed like it's, not, it obviously showed you don't have to be cruel, right, to actually
Mhm.
get the right response. Because
Mhm.
there were some episodes where I was like, God, fuck Ginty, man, that dude's a dick.
Dude, and that was gonna be like a segment of mine, but I mean, we can get into it now. Like
Nope.
the whole episodes with Ginty, where I think that was some of the most like soul crushing episodes. Like
Well, I think they wanted
with
to
like that whole
show.
conclusion.
I think they wanted to show like the different ideologies of the arbiters, right? Like you have one
Yeah.
who's like just open and interested and stuff like that, but still willing to do the games the way everyone else has done them. And then you have
Mhm.
one dude who's like, I don't give a shit about humanity, like they're fucking stupid, but clearly he's attached to them because he has dolls that he's created to the people that come into the bar,
Mhm.
right? And yeah, but like that entire like Mayu in the elevator, like when it
Dude,
goes down,
that's
that is the
something
most cruel fucking thing I've seen in
I was
anime in a
gonna say
long
that
time.
is the one part of this anime I disagree with, and I think that was definitely an L.
that was
Was
brutal as shit.
It
man.
was absolutely made no sense to me, and to this day, I will still argue that is one of the worst parts of that anime.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like it being like every episode being loosely connected, I can see why it's kind of like it's hard to binge at times because you're like, where's the
Mhm.
connection? And they really don't start having them until Brad, what episode you leave off on?
You said
7?
7,
Which one was
right?
that?
Yeah, I started 7. So
Was that the
Let me see.
detectives?
I have it pulled up. 7. Uh.
I did not finish that
Oh, you didn't finish
episode.
7.
That was
Okay.
yeah.
Because you go you
Well,
go bowling, right, and then you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
oh, that might have been the
Uh,
one where it's like the arcade one, right, with the
well,
mom
no, so
No,
TV
so
star. No?
so that was
no.
5, and then 6 was the
The
adult and the
Ginty.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that's like the one where it actually starts to connect each other, where like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
actual plot, like all of it starts to become really
yeah,
relevant and stuff like that. Because then you
yeah,
realize, Deckham obviously is going too far.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because
she,
7 is where it gets more into Chiyuki with Chaviot and
yeah,
stuff. So I really think, Brad, if you finish it, you'll like it more because that, like he said, I think 7 is actually where it starts connecting.
yeah, everything
There's
starts
a
to
smile or
connect dots.
two somewhere at the end.
Episode 10. Episode 10 mostly. Episode 10
Yeah,
mostly.
just episode 10, 11, and 12 just fucking sad.
Yeah, I mean, like 11 is just fucked up, right? Just the entire thing,
Yeah.
because you learn Chiyuki's backstory, you learn what happened to her, you learn how like the anime does a really good job of dealing with tone, some seriously mature tones like
Mhm.
depression, anxiety,
Yeah.
suicide,
Mhm.
assault, all that shit.
Yeah.
Really does it well, which is
Show
surprising.
tunes.
Yeah, show tunes, exactly. But that's why I think like people are so thrown off, because when you watch the opening, it's like, this looks like it's gonna be a funny dancing anime.
Put
Yeah.
your
And it's like,
hands
no,
on
dude,
it.
do you want depression? Do you want
Do you want life or death?
do you want to think about your existence the entire time and whether or not, like, I mean, because basically what they're saying is that, in terms of plausibility, right? Like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have heaven or hell, or reincarnation, or the void? Right? And if you think about the void, that's soul crushing, right? Because
Yeah,
essentially you
you're
just diss a fucking peer.
Yeah.
just the void.
Well, here's the thing though, like the judgment was happening in the Quindecum, right? So like nothing they did before that. I mean, they had the memories of those people
Mhm.
to help make that
Correct,
judgment,
yeah.
but it looks like they primarily based a lot of that judgment on how they reacted to things
At the end.
in those games.
Yeah.
So everything they did before
I think
possibly could have not mattered.
I think they intentionally removed the knowledge to kind of give them both clean slates and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But still
'cause-
exposing them to like such extremes is not ever going to elicit a response that is
Yeah,
normal.
that is favorable. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I was gonna say, like, I think the idea is like innately they're who they are, and nothing's gonna change that, regardless if they're missing their memories or not.
Yeah,
So I
right.
think the point was just like, let's see who they are at the core,
Yeah.
and then their memories will come along the way, type of thing. But
Yeah,
I
makes
still think
sense.
it was fucked up in a sense, because like you could have have the one arbiter who just fucking doesn't give a shit, and you take the L like Mayu. Or you could have somebody like Dekium where it's a little bit more
Well, I mean, like,
favorable.
you have to. It's like in episode 7, right, with the detective, and he's like
Mhm.
strung up, and he's pretty much just like baiting the kid on to fucking
Mhm.
stab the chips or whatever. He's like forcing. Like, first off, the kid's already traumatized. Like, it's gotta be traumatic for you to like relive, your fucking death, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And then the things that forced you to become that person or forced you into that individual, and then you have to fucking hear that person who you happen to kill, right? Just kind of go like, go ahead, fucking, it's the right thing to do. Just stab me. It's like, no one's ever going to
Yeah.
respond the right way. And obviously, I think both got sent to the void, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's always like probably like the harshest part, like especially like in the first episode when like I think the first episode hooks you.
Oh, the first 2 episodes are so good.
Because it essentially
Mhm.
just kind of shows you like, it kind of gives you like background into like just random people, and like well-written shows can introduce new characters, and you can only be there for an episode or 2, but if you fucking have like really strong writing, it's nails it. Like they nail that like interpersonal relationship between the husband and wife, like what happened. You're like confused at first, then you realize she had an affair, she got
Mhm.
pregnant, maybe it's his, maybe it's not. He obviously is insanely jealous, made accusations, and then proceeded to fucking drive them both off a cliff. I was like,
That was fun. I was like, all right, extreme, but okay. We'll
I was like,
roll with
most
it.
people go to couples therapy and talk about it, but you took it to a whole level of holy shit, man, you need to relax.
Fucking.
It was an accident.
It was an accident. You just jerked the wheel. So that's called like he just like led on into his intrusive thoughts and shit like that. Instantly regret
Just
it.
like that one meme where it's just like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's like a Bill Burr comedy thing where Bill Burr's sitting there. He's like, you ever just sit there while you're driving? It's like a whole crowded sidewalk. He's like, you just turn right. I'm famous. I just keep going straight. Just live my life.
No, but I like that, because then in episode 2, it's like you got the other side of it, because I remember when I first watched it, episode 1, I was like, yeah, man, fuck her. I was like cheating hoe. And then episode 2 came around and I was like, I'm so sorry for anything I said.
I think in episode 1, when they showed her in bed and she showed her head like and down, you could probably, that was like, drawn intentionally to kind of show that more than likely the character had regret for what she had done.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I agree with him being reincarnated, if I'm being honest.
No, I don't either,
And
because it's kind of like what Jack's saying. It's like at that point, like, does their past like even matter? Because he
Yeah.
technically killed them, jump them off the fucking cliff.
Yeah, he's the one. Even though she did initiate it, but he did fucking take it to like a far right extreme, right?
Yeah.
And something you actually see in in the news quite often, murder, suicide, that type of stuff. So
Mhm.
I was surprised about how.
Wait, you do?
You just turn it on, bro. You take the shit out of it.
To watch the news.
Don't you be sad all day. Basically, but yeah,
Oh,
no, I think
please.
this is one of those rare anime that actually does it right. I just wish that the opening wasn't so misleading for people. I think that would be
No,
like,
it's so good.
well, no, what I'm saying is like most
Maybe it
people
should
who
be the
probably,
outro.
yeah, no,
That's
that's some JJK
I
shit. Hey, fucking Yuta, was it Itadori just ripped his own heart out? Let me,
celebrate.
yeah, let me just break dance. Yeah.
Everybody, put your hands up. Yeah, right.
What did you think of Nona's plan? She's like the little arbiter, the one who's in charge of all the floors or whatever.
Oh man.
I I agreed with what she was doing with Deckham. I think she did that intentionally. Obviously, she did that
Yeah.
intentionally, where she wanted to kind of see what maybe their idea of
When
judgment was
emotions
wrong.
are involved.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the idea of judgment was wrong, right? It was I thought that was really interesting, like that everyone else disagreed with her except for fucking Chiyuki, who's obviously confused.
Right.
That was
Well,
fucked
with
up,
the
by the
way they
way.
were doing it, it was so black and white. And sometimes I guess that would make sense, but you got to be able to have. I think sometimes it helps to make decisions when you have some kind of conflict.
Hashtag buy Jack's merch in his store, please. Brad has your hat up, dude, on Cup Talk.
Oh
I
my
just noticed
god, wait,
that.
that's so where's the chibi shirt? Have the chibi shirt and the Jack hat, bro. Come on.
Oh
That's
god.
funny.
Uh,
That's great. That's actually really funny. How the hell did you do that?
I didn't even
Right.
see that.
Very, very
very
It-
carefully. What do you?
been do yeah.
Whenever Brad is not engaged in conversation at all, he's usually fucking around, right? And when he's fucking around, sometimes he'll do creative, funny shit, right? And then he'll like this. And other times he's playing BattleBit or something. He just hopes no one notices. But I see it all the time.
There it goes. All right.
You just see it.
was-
Him on
it was
Steam.
back.
Get on.
Of course.
Speaking of which,
he's what do you hopping on Rocket League?
Bro, he's gonna make me cry. Somebody kick him from here.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So with that, what was your guys' favorite episode? Cup Dog, we'll go with you since you watched 7 episodes. I'm sorry, 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5.
Mhm.
Well, can I just say episode 8?
Please.
Um
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm sorry. I'm not.
yeah,
Put a code on. Match with
Let me think.
Bean.
let me think. I did like the bowling episode because it was somewhat more lighthearted than the other ones. Because you just thought they were gonna just do it right there in the middle of the place for a good while, but
What the fuck? We see why that's his favorite, y'all.
He's like, they're gonna get to it right now.
About to
my
do it.
God.
This is my episode.
He's like, this is what I came to watch. All right, Ken, what about you?
10.
Why?
I just like the fact I just, wanted to see if there was an episode where they removed the extreme and just kind of had, what would be like a nicer moment, right? To see because you had because Jack, you brought up the fact that pretty much like they were bringing in duos the entire time, but she came in by herself, and then Deckham just added Chiyuki into it because it was her time to be judged, right? And so you hear how like I love the fact that they were like she knows she was dead, and she was like, you don't have to tell me how I died. I don't need to hear about that type of stuff. Which was, I mean, and then she like obviously was, constantly acting as like this really good, solid guide to both Deckham and Chiyuki, as she was like telling them like how her life went, how things went, how she didn't regret it, that type of stuff. How she got to finally live a full life, and then it kind of helped Chiyuki like understand like and it kind of come to grips with like the things that were happening, that type of stuff.
And then she dies.
Then the grandma went to be reincarnated, which was very nice, So.
Yeah, thank you. Not sending her to the void.
That'd have been Ginty. He's like,
that would have been.
I'm gonna hang you upside down and play
literally.
ping pong. Let's see.
Oh my god, bro! I would have been so fucking
Let's
sad
see
if
if
she
you can
got
work
him.
that shit out, huh?
Fuck that guy, bro. Fuck that guy. Jack, what was your favorite episode?
I think one because it like I really need the first episode to kind of get me and hook me, and usually if it doesn't, then I have a really hard time
Getting into
building
it.
interest in it.
Yeah.
And episode 1 did really good with that. And I mean, I have some favorite moments, like episode 10, with Chioki and Deckham, and episode what was it? Episode with the older lady.
That was 10.
10.
Yep.
Oh, is that
Mhm.
so? That one, 10, because I think that was a huge turning point with Deckham.
It helped kind of mend the relationship a little bit after it was strained because, Deckham got called out for being too extreme
Mhm.
with the murderers,
Too psycho. Yeah.
Too psycho, yeah. Man's a fucking sociopath. Let's play a game.
Yeah, but we love him. Let's play a game.
Yeah, I like Deckham as a character. I just felt like Chiyuki really, like, whenever they actually like featured her and have her like interject in conversations and stuff like that, she really carried. And Nona too. Like I really liked her character. Very
I like
smart.
Nona. Nona was like that one character that I was like, you know a lot.
Yeah.
You're up to something.
Anything with any character with like who has depth is really good. I don't feel like Ginty had much depth other than being
Now he's just angry and just fuck
universally
you guys.
angry and a dick.
Fuck him. I'll never forgive him when he did to Mayu, bro. That's all I gotta say.
I remember when I was going on to Crunchyroll, I went down specifically in that episode to see the comments, and people were not happy. they were like,
I was one of them.
fuck?
I was one of them.
Like,
I said, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck, man?
Was
I was
that
like,
10 also?
I think that was
it was
like
11.
It was 11.
So basically, I can't,
and 9 too.
I can't remember the episode where like Mayu first showed up, right? When Ginty and Mayu and they had that, it was with the fucking J-pop star, or whatever the fuck he was.
Oh,
Yeah.
they did the that's
The
when they
idol.
did
they did Twister, but
Oh my god, that one,
yeah,
yeah.
that was
but-
actually 9, I
But she
think.
had a
Oh, was it?
P.
But it was
No,
Twister.
actually, shit, 6.
Okay,
Six,
yeah,
yeah.
but
But it was
they
Twister
stayed
with the
for a little
but it was
bit.
Twister with the spikes,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Jesus, dude.
Gosh, it was insane.
It's
I
kinda
think
like,
oh, sorry, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. No, I was gonna say it's kind of like a lot of like psychological experiments. I don't know if you guys have ever
Yeah.
heard of the Bobo doll experiment with Albert Bandura.
I have not. What's
So
that?
basically, what he did was that he took children, right? It's pretty much a clown doll,
It made them into dolls.
and made them into dolls and made them eat each other. No, so he made them
what?
watch. So basically, what he was trying to see was like whether or not you replicate behavior that you see. So what he'd do is that he'd put them in front of a television, make them watch a certain program, and then he'd put a doll in front of them and see if they would hit the doll. Right? Most kids wouldn't, but it's like they're introducing like certain stimuli, to kind of fucking see if like people would replicate it or copy things like that. So it's really interesting.
What the fuck? Is that legal?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like, so they weren't doing something
It's not
extreme
ethical.
to the kids. It's not ethical. Yeah, I believe that. But
I
like
thought you said
most-
they just eat each other.
No. They weren't eating each other. They were hitting a doll.
Oh,
So,
I
That's
was
the
like,
Bobo doll experiment Albert Bandura did.
I was like, bro, they're eating each other. How is this legal? This
Girl-
is cannibalism.
Girl,
It's
what the fuck?
children. I
That
don't know why.
That was my bad.
eating.
I derailed there.
I
derailed that at the beginning.
I knew Brad would fuck it up and Chibi would be like, you said them kids eating dolls and people?
I was going through the,
I was very confused.
I was going through the comments for episode 10, and they're saying that guy was Light from
Oh, like,
Yeah,
Oh, I
from
saw
Death Note.
that. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like in the background or something.
Just chilling, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god. I know. I was
Send
like,
this
there's
bitch
no way
ass to the
cannibalism
void.
is illegal. Yeah, fuck that guy, bro.
How
Set
dare
him
you.
down.
How dare you?
I like how they represented the the hell and heaven esque with the faces, the mask.
Yeah, the Oni
I remember
masks.
some people had no idea. They were like, "How do I know?" And it was just like very subtle at
One
first.
doesn't
and
have a horn.
one
I've-
looks happy,
I've
one is
read-
mad.
I've solved the case.
No, I just remember reading comments and they were like, "How do I know?" And I'm like,
those are people who are like in the room, like, how do we know, bro? I'm like, well, that's a white mask, and that's a reddish, darker mask with horns. Like, what does that mean, bro? I was like, what the fuck?
yeah.
You would be
Yeah.
the first person to die in a horror movie, champ. I'm pushing you down the stairs.
"Oh my god!"
They would send me to the void just for saying that. Like, you gotta go. Come on.
Ken's definitely going to the void. I kind of liked the darker episode. So you guys know me. I'm actually not big fan, kind of like Cup Dog over here, of like sad shit, dark shit.
But you watch
I
K-dramas.
really enjoyed what? What did you say?
I was like,
Say it with your chest.
But you watch K dramas. What are you talking about?
Okay, I had to stop, bro.
Aren't
It got to me.
aren't
I had to
most-
stop.
Aren't most of those sad?
They are. I had to stop, man. It was like one whole fucking episode was a season, I swear, and it just took too much out of me.
Yeah, because it's a lot of
Um,
pausing and singing and like slow motion. Everyone's like
no, it's a
looking to
lot
the
of the
side.
same like frame like 5 times. Like I love my K-dramas, but it's like they like fall and you see it from like 5 different angles and it takes like 2 minutes to actually get through
and then
and I'm
there's
like,
like a
"Oh my
random
god."
subway in the background.
Yeah, literally. Jesus
And then a
Christ.
musical number.
Yeah, enemy's going over, of course.
Bruh. I know what
Brad
that
would
name is.
know.
Oh
Brad
yeah, the
watched-
background
Brad watched a
music.
lot of Korean shows. When he
Oh,
was younger.
true.
I did, but I
Well,
didn't really understand a lot of them.
You didn't have to, man. Just know that
That is true.
those two people will never be together. You know?
I need to find that one movie that I watched. It was a ping pong movie, and it was freaking
Oh.
awesome.
I think I know which movie you're talking about,
Ping
Brad.
pong
I
movie,
do
yeah.
not know.
There was a ping pong movie called was it Kung Fury? No, that's a Kung Fury. That's
No. That's Balls of
So
Fury.
Balls of Fury.
You're talking about a
Yeah.
Korean one, right?
Yeah, no, it's a Korean one.
I think
I can't help you there.
I think Don Yi, he's the guy who played Gilgamesh in fuck was that Marvel movie shit that no one really liked, Eternals. Like he was big in that. He's also in Train to Busan as like the really big
I love.
Korean guy.
Oh, he was so good in Train.
Yeah, he plays a lot of great fucking roles.
He's awesome. He's such a good actor. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't even know how we got on this topic. But I really enjoyed the arcade episode. The arcade episode to me was so like I remember that was like one of the first cuts. That was one. I just saw his little head in the background. I'm
Wild
like,
Katsu appeared. He's like,
Wild Katsu.
He's like,
Yeah.
we are doing over there.
I'm trying to see. I don't know. Like that one was to me hit really hard. Because that was the one where like you learn that the guy ended up committing suicide, and then the other girl was like murdered by her assistant. But the lady ended up having like 8 kids, and so like her life was actually like really sad, and she had to like grow up to be kind of like a bitch to
Right.
make it into the world. So that episode really fucked me up, especially with like their final moves. I was like, oh man, like they clenched my heart. And then I really liked I don't want to spoil it for Cup Dog, but like I
Yeah.
loved Chiyuki's episode.
Which 12
Like that
or 11?
also made me sob when
No,
you
wait.
finally learn her story.
Which one?
I was
11 or
like,
12?
fuck.
Which one?
Oh, let me see.
Is it
I
11?
think
Because I thought
yeah, it was 11.
I thought 12 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
but-
12 is good. 12 is good.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about like what back then hit me the most, and like when I was rewatching it, I was like, damn, like
Well,
This
there's
fucking
a lot
sent
of
me.
a lot of relatable moments, right? Like
Yeah.
when a person has a psychotic break, like essentially, you get anxiety, just depression, you zone out, that type of stuff. So
dissociate. Yeah.
The what are they called? The people that make the judgments.
arbiters,
Arbiters are they not human?
no, they're dolls.
Okay, so
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, baby.
So
Yeah, anime.
so was this a matter of like I forgot the movie where it's like the robots learn to become humans or start having human emotions, but
Was it a game like Detroit Become Human?
I Am Robot.
I
that's what it was. That's what it was. Detroit
Yeah.
Become Human.
Yeah,
I thought it
so
was I Am
he's
Robot.
still a doll. He just now has human feelings.
yeah. So basically,
Mhm.
I don't know the dude's name, but he's the guy with the lotus beard. He's the
Oh, I fucking
creator.
hate that guy.
Basically,
Oracle?
like his whole I think essentially he didn't want them to like associate with any type of emotion because he felt like they would
It would be like judge or like
well,
bias,
it would
right?
impair their
Yeah.
judgment,
Yeah.
right? There
Yeah.
would be like some type of bias, but that was obviously not true because it felt like the way he had kind of the way he had things flowing was more toward like being just cruel to see like who would who would have the I don't know, the better reaction to it or the more positive reaction, which is obviously fucking stupid. Like, what, you want to reincarnate just selfless people? That's there's like, no matter what, like you got to realize not everyone lives like a virtuous life. It's very rare that happens. And regardless, like you saw it with that kid, right? He loved his sister, ended up fucking murdering the guy who killed his sister, and then murdered the cop because the cop
Yeah.
essentially just sat there
He
and
was there.
watched, right?
Mhm.
So you saw that, like, obviously the plan wasn't working. So why were you pushing shit to that extreme to begin with?
Right.
You know, like it felt like the system was just broken from the start because
Mhm.
it was supposedly well regulated, which is obviously not true. You know, it's so it was kind of weird when I saw that. I was like, I don't know why that dude's, you know, it's clear that he's like omnipotent, right? He clearly has control over everyone in that space. But it was just it was just strange to me that like that person just couldn't see reason. Like there would be
Mhm.
there's no logic to just being cruel the entire time. Just didn't make sense. So
Unless you wanted to be.
that's right. Unless you're the devil, like Brad or
Like
Cartwright.
Cup Dog.
Yeah, like
Wink, wink.
wink, wink, baby.
I am the void.
I am the void.
Please put that as his tag. I am the void.
No, it literally says Brad hates all anime, and I put all anime twice. Brad hates all anime.
No, you should have said
Yeah.
except Bo
Yeah, that
Fury.
sounds good.
all
Bo Fury is
He
his
who
one
he who
exception.
was.
He who was is not anymore.
Jesus Christ.
The bald.
All right, who is everyone's favorite character? Let's go with Jack first. Jack, who was yours?
Oh man. I don't know. I really like Deckham.
You would.
As plain and boring he has been,
He
I
likes his
think he
hair.
had.
No, I do like my
yeah,
white hair anime
it's
characters.
that's that emo comb over.
I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Yo, pin that. Cup Dog wrong.
I think he was the perfect character to
Because
run it the
he's
way
like
that
a
it was
blank
run.
slate, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's
Oh.
moldable.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch said
I
wrong.
liked his little transition, you know, closer to the end, especially that was episode 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think so like it's when Chiyuki pretty much like told him like, hey, let's instead of like being cruel, like I think that really stuck with him. Instead of like pushing to those extremes, let's just kind of have like a normal thing. And they ended up playing was it Old Maid, right? And it was like,
Yeah.
you know, just have a normal fucking conversation, get to know a person.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Instead of being, you know, hanging you upside down, you're gonna ball with organs and shut up.
Jesus Christ.
You ever play Twister, but you're off a cliff?
And there's impending spikes below you ready to kill you.
And those spikes
And you're
aren't-
not allowed to use a
Yeah,
bathroom.
you know, and then you find the spikes aren't real. You're like, hey, you won! Congratulations! You can now, you know, go be reincarnated. It's like, why the fuck would I ever want to do that?
Jesus. I feel like I know your answer, Ken, but who's yours?
Who do you think it is?
I feel like it's Nona.
No, it's Chiyuki.
No. Oh. I do like Chiyuki.
I just like her character. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No, I think that's why it hit me so hard at the end, because I really appreciated Chiyuki's character, and seeing her so vulnerable, I was like,
well, I mean, she didn't like. It felt like it's like a person who like gives advice but never takes it, right?
Mhm.
Essentially, like you're trying to be selfless, and then you end up being selfish, kind of because of your actions, right? Suicide is essentially, to a lot of people, like
it's very selfish. Yeah.
So it was interesting to kind of like when she finally realized what had happened, right? And it was I like the fact that like Deckham was like, I want to keep her around, right? Because it wasn't just Nona's idea. It was
But she
also
can't.
Deckham's
But she
idea.
can't be around though.
Correct.
That's the thing.
That's correct, Brad. For a guy who didn't watch the goddamn show, right? That is
Like I
actually
said,
accurate.
I read the wiki.
You read the Ricky?
I read
Wait,
the
Wiki?
You read the Ricky?
Wait, Wiki.
But no, yeah. So I just felt like she was, you know, well developed. I like the fact that they, you know, kept throwing curveballs at her, having her act as the conscience or the conscious, you know, of the audience, and then afterwards, you know, you finally understand who she is, what had happened.
That she's actually the worst character.
No.
Why are you like this?
She's the antagonist of the whole series.
That would be hilarious if that was true, that she's like the devil somehow. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Oh, that'd be
She's
great.
infiltrated.
She's been manipulating them
Huge
all.
twist.
It'd be like that was like Knights of the Old Republic, wasn't it? Brad, remember playing that? Where there was a big twist where like you ended up being like this Sith Lord and shit like that the entire time, but you had amnesia. It's like, I was the bad guy? Fuck yeah, dude. Just start force choking everybody. But essentially, yeah, I just like Chiyuki's character. I like that depth to her.
Okay, Cup Dog. I'm ready to say your answer sucks, but go ahead.
Oh, sheesh.
It's the bowling ball.
No, it was actually the dartboard. It had a lot of character to
It
it.
was L in the
Um,
background.
I was gonna
Um,
say it was like dart number 5.
There's Dart.
Dart number
It was the
5.
dart that hit that lady's shoulder. I really fucking felt
It was-
that.
the character development of that dart was just on point.
As it flew through the air.
The elevator guy, he was legit. That guy,
He's
he pressed
technically-
buttons pretty good.
He's technically you. That's essentially what floor?
You're trying your
Um,
best here.
Brad as
Actually,
an actor. I need you to say it with more feeling, Brad. What floor? I start panicking as you're saying
What floor? Just fall to your knees.
Tell me, please.
Yeah, that guy's out
Uh,
there, like, especially when he
10.
was it episode 11, I think, when he walked up to the Oracle and the Oracle did his little face suck thing to get the memory
Yeah.
out of him.
giggity.
And we was done, he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all like, so they're all not supposed to have any emotion, right? They're supposed to be devoid of it.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I assume that's why he didn't fucking care. He just kind of brushed it off, which is weird.
Okay.
But Brad, continue. Who actually was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause you didn't fucking say a person.
that is true. Well, I mean, I would say that he is a person. I would say Nona the most. She just seemed to have the most character, like at least out of the first, 6 episodes, right? I felt like she was the most unique person there.
Mm.
I did like the god character when they were playing pool. He was pretty cool, but once again, I only saw him that one time, so I don't really know him that well.
What the- Literally likes the worst person. Of course, Brad would be the worst.
I was
judge of
gonna
character.
say, I knew you were. Somehow
That
you
guy. Let me
just-
tell you something. That guy can hit a
Dude, fuck
fucking
that
a planet-sized pool ball. Let me tell you something, guys.
Yeah.
Good form.
Fucking hated that guy. Hated that guy.
He wasn't
Okay,
very good
okay.
at it though. That was the thing. He kept losing.
I fucking hate Brad so much. Chibi,
Oh,
who's your favorite
any
character?
disease. Oh shit, I forgot about me. I think I have 2. I really like Chiyuki, kind of the same reasons that you said, Ken.
Mm.
I'm just biased for my girl Mayu, bro. Hashtag do better. Did my girl wrong. I don't know. I really liked Mayu's character because it was like such a dumb character. Like she's just so silly, so like, fangirl. Like, oh my god, like I'm with my favorite idol, and the whole thing of her sacrificing herself because she didn't want to pee in front of him. Like,
Ew.
Seems like a
I
very-
thought that was
seems like a
fucking
very
hilarious.
seems like a very teenage thing to do, right?
Yeah,
Like
it
a
was just
fan-
so funny. And then
very
she
fan
figured out, and
community.
she's like, oh, I don't know, but I liked her, her self-sacrifice. I liked that literally the way she died was slipping on soap. Like I thought that was so out of everywhere you could have died. You fell in
it
the
was
shower.
probably the one part you're like, all right, everyone else's death was pretty tragic. Hers was just kind of funny. Like, just-
Like she was my like comedic relief in the whole show. So I think that's why I was really partial to her. And again, I will never stop saying that she was done wrong. Thank you
Well, I mean,
for
she had
coming
like
to my
that.
TED Talk.
She kind of had that I mean, she did have a profound effect, I think, on Ginty when she like said,
No,
like,
for sure.
I feel
for
bad
sure.
for the arbiters and stuff like that because you didn't get to choose. I get to choose. There's like a difference
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah,
But what if you choose wrong though? That's the question.
he definitely did.
as long as you get to choose, you know what I'm saying? Like you have that choice there, Brad.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You
Yeah, yeah.
stupid bitch.
All choices.
Damn. Damn. Okay, Ken, he's making fun of me. Over here, we're beating up Cup Dog with his old JK hat.
Look who's talking.
Hashtag buy in the store.
What? I was defending you. I'm never defending your ass again, bro. I can get him.
That was mistake number 1 is trying to defend Brad. Don't do that.
Get him.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Essentially, like, see, here's the thing. Brad can talk all the shit he wants, right? But we have recordings of him saying like, he teared up on fucking Crisis Core, and on top of that, just
I
recently,
did.
someone on fucking Twitter or X, what the fuck it's called now, was talking about how they were feeling down and feeling bad, and then Brad had like a really nice response to that person,
Aw.
and I was
Oh,
like,
Brad's
you,
nice.
I was like,
Yeah.
you, literally, like, see, that's what I'm saying, like, it's all a front. Brad's like a real big softie. Don't worry about it.
I
Like,
I am. I have a crusty exterior.
That's why Brad doesn't like watching like serious stuff because he knows his emotions will get the best of him.
He's just like, I can't.
What did we
he's
we
like, I
watch,
can't show
Brad?
emotions.
You're like, I can't. I've cried so much because of this kid dying. I can't possibly watch this show again. I was like, same type of stuff, So because
Yeah,
Brad's so
SpongeBob.
deadpan in his delivery, right? it's really sardonic. You know, for those who don't know what sardonic
Oh, I like
is,
that word. I don't. I like that
Yeah,
word
I've
though.
never heard
sardonic
that
is
one.
essentially like dark sarcasm.
What I had for dinner. Oh, yeah.
Shut up,
yeah,
Brad.
yeah.
I'm trying to be
Yeah, I
educated.
didn't hear him.
Sardonic is like dark sarcasm and stuff like that,
Oh.
right? So pretty much like you're uber serious when you say it. It's like very dark. Like usually sarcasm is usually lighthearted, like small jabs and stuff like that. But sardonic is like
Oh.
far darker. That's essentially
Like
Brett's
Jesselnick
personality.
Dark.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what?
He's a
Oh.
very dark comedian.
Essentially,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Trash.
We gotta put him in the trash.
Put him in the trash.
Put that trash right next to you, boy.
Put your whole self in it.
Oh, yes.
Damn, that was funny.
I can't.
You know, I don't want to ask you,
Oh.
Chief. Like, what did you feel about episode 12? Like, so if you're in chat right now and you're watching it, episode 12's title is Suicide Tour, right? In episode 11, you find out she kills herself, and then 12 essentially is, it's fucking cruel too, because what Decim is essentially doing is trying to like judge Chiyuki, and he takes her to a simulation of her old home, and then pretty much allows her to see things that like were more likely had happened right after she had passed, and then giving her the option of pressing a button and then going back to her life, but killing someone in the world.
Yeah.
So
It's like that one. There's like a movie like that where you can press the button and like you'll be able to get like $1 million, but you have to kill
In
somebody.
Time?
No,
In
I think
Time.
so.
It's In Time.
Something
Oh, is that
something
with
like
Justin
that.
With Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, but it was something like that. Like
Yeah,
you hit the button, it's
you can
somebody
kill
random.
people and then steal their time.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it usually is somebody that's like really close to you. That's like the caveat.
Yeah. What did you think of that
Mhm.
episode? Like, because I thought it was, a great finale.
It was phenomenal, but like you said, it was very cruel.
Yeah.
Because it was like you see, it's hard, like, you know, is to get a little dark here for someone who's like, you know, struggled with mental stuff like a lot, almost my whole life. Like it's
Dyslexia, yeah.
What?
Oh, what?
He's just throwing out fucking random words now.
Brad, I want you to mute yourself for 20 seconds. I want you to let Chibi to finish your thought. Shut the fuck up.
As I'm trying to be serious for like once in my life.
Thank you, Brad. Go ahead, Chibi.
But it's always hard to see somebody in that situation where they're like confronting the consequences of their actions. You know, and I was putting myself in that situation, like, you know, if that was me, I had done that, like, what the fuck would I do in that situation? Like, and I just couldn't help but just really hurt for her.
Yeah.
And then to have that twist of it being a simulation, kind of, and she had no idea, like, really fucked me up.
Yeah, essentially I thought it was like I felt like he was pushed to that point, right?
Yeah.
He really hadn't, you know, you thought he had learned
wanted answers
in episode 10, but he desperately wanted to see, like, because she'd come off in, you know, from episode 2 on as kind of like this virtuous person, right?
Yeah.
Even though Decim already knew what had happened, why she was there. And so you have that person, and he pushed her to a breaking point, and yet she still forgave him, right? So, I mean, maybe it's just, you know, acceptance. It really did, like, show kind of how layered and how mature her character was. Because she could have easily just pressed the fuck up. I mean, she was obviously conflicted because she was like, press the button, you do it for me. Right? Because I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I thought that was...
But I think I think her time there, like, really helped her mature.
Well, I think just, like, that push, right, was interesting because, like, I didn't think that, you know, after episode 10 that Decim, you know, he obviously cherished that relationship, but immediately went to, like, a fucking whole extreme. And I don't know if he was doing it to kind of prove a point to Nona and fucking the creator and stuff like that. Like, look, man, like, she was literally, like, given a choice to fucking kill other people to bring herself back, which obviously is a very selfish act. She didn't do it, even after seeing her mother's reaction to her passing.
Yeah, which was really fucking hard.
Yeah. Which, as someone who's, like, you know, counseled people after someone like committed suicide, that type of stuff, you know, I'm well aware of, like, the, you know, feelings that people have toward it, you know, how fucking angry people can get.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I was just like, I didn't think he'd push it to that extreme because obviously it broke him too. Like he clearly didn't want to
Oh
do
yeah,
it, but I think he knew
yeah.
that like for them, yeah, I think really felt like he did it because like he felt like one, no one would believe that a person would ever be that selfless, right? Or at least be accepting of like
Mhm.
that circumstance. And then she did, so it surprised him, but it also broke him because he was like, well, I just fucking hurt the person that actually gave a shit about
That I
me.
care about. Yeah. Yeah.
So really well done, and also like the smile
Mhm.
at the end was like, I was like,
Stop!
really good.
Yeah.
Oh man, and the little
Yeah.
doll.
And then the doll.
Oh, the doll sent me. When I saw that fucking Chiyuki doll, I was like, I'm done. This will forever be in my top 10.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it wrecked
I
me.
can't. I totally had forgotten about the show, like honestly, because I
Mhm.
think 12 episodes. I didn't like.
There's no second season.
Yeah, I didn't like how like loosely connected stuff was, and usually I like some type of semblance of storytelling,
Yeah.
or connected storytelling, and then it does that, and I'm like, you know what? You have like a really fucking strong finale,
Mm-hmm.
And what's strange for it is, if you can handle the subject matter, like it is rewatchable. It really is.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
It is.
That's what I'm saying. I fully enjoyed it while I was rewatching
I should look up like
because it's kind of like
I want to look up what else the creator has made.
right.
Yeah.
And that was kind of going to be like my next question. Like, do you guys think it deserved a second season, or do you kind of like where it stopped?
I think I don't think they should do the whole Quindecum again if they were to do another season.
It'd have to
Mhm.
focus on
I
Nona,
think that
right?
story's what's that?
It'd have to focus on Dona because like that's what it felt like at the
Yeah,
end.
they need to
Mhm.
pick up on her and the whole
If her
Dona and Oracle relationship and
if
where
her
that
if her
goes, because
plan still
Oracle didn't
fucking
like any of
exists,
that.
yeah, no, he hated it.
Yeah.
He made like an entire change the moment it had happened because
Yeah.
he believed it was like a futile experience. So he was like, "There's no
Mhm.
reason to do that."
Yeah,
So
because he went over the rules again or something like that.
yeah, he was
Um,
very pissed off, dude.
So I think if they were to do another season, they need to bring that side of it,
Yeah.
and kind of get away from the Quindecum,
Mhm. I agree.
because I think at this point the Quindecum's kind of just played out. I think I
Mhm.
don't think you can do much more than what you've already showed.
And it's
Yeah.
clear that like
To
Deckham's changed
Yeah.
as a
yeah,
character.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I I don't know if we even need Decum in it anymore.
No.
But you definitely need Dona and or Nona and
The creator.
Oracle.
Yeah. 100%. I think if you didn't have, I think those two, I think their dynamic would be interesting to like explore, especially
Mhm.
considering like Nona really tried to like give him the cold shoulder like fucking constantly. Like I think she was just tired of. I
Mhm.
think she knew that a change needed to happen because
Yeah.
Mhm.
in episode 2 when like her and Chiki had that conversation and she had like leaned into Chiki's explanation, like, you know what, maybe she's right, maybe our judgment has been off, that type of stuff. That with the creator, with the Oracle being like, yeah, fuck that noise, like
Right.
why would you do that? Why you want to give the puppets like emotions and stuff?
They never really went deep into the origin of the arbiters and
I don't. Well, I
Oracle
think
and
that's part of the mystery of it, right? Because it was kind of like a thing where like regardless of like your faith, like the reality of it was it's either reincarnation or the void, right? And people were being given like a second chance, quote unquote, to choose like whether or not you'd go be reincarnated or you'd go to the void.
Yeah.
Right. Which itself is interesting because you had, but if you look at the backgrounds of the characters that were being put into the games, you had characters who had committed suicide, who had been, in abusive relationships, who had murdered people, who, lived virtuous lives, that type of stuff, had been turned like, essentially you were getting like this whole wide assortment of people. It was just the method of determining how someone is judged was just fucking overly cruel for no reason.
Right.
Which once again, which is something I liked, right?
Yeah.
Because it did like the thing is like this anime is it really peaked fucking hard in episode 1. Like it went like straight through the roof. Like here, let's intrigue everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it slowly unraveled. And then you really got kind of a slow burn in terms of getting to know Deckham, his motivations, and then getting to know Chiyuki and why, their relationship, their dynamic was so important to kind of determining like where the arbiters should move toward, instead of like being overly cruel. Just be like, fuck it, just treat it like a normal thing. Judge them based off what they've done or conversations, whatever. But don't just send them to the void because you fucking can. or don't trick them. You know,
Yeah. Is Death Billiards a prequel?
I think it's a prequel, right, Brad? Like I think it's like
I didn't even know that was a thing still.
it's like
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
got Deckham in it.
it's like
Does
25
it
minutes.
really?
Yeah, it's essentially. I think it predates. I think it's Deckham's first like. I assume that it's kind of like his first judgment. It's my guess.
Oh.
Wow, no.
Oh, I had no idea. Do you guys think it deserves a manga? Because I feel like I would really like a manga because I feel like you could elaborate on a little bit things. Because I felt like there was some holes that definitely could have been filled
Well,
if it was just
I
written.
don't think. I mean, yeah, you could have probably given it a manga to kind of fill in some gaps, but I don't think. I think the anime did a really good job of like telling its story, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't really need further context in certain things. Like I know people want to not. I mean, you're intrigued because you want to know more about like
I wanted
the system with
more.
the arbiters and stuff like that. Deckham's creation, Nona. But you also get that part like where Deckham wakes up and like Nona's telling him what he is. You know, you're an arbiter, so you do get background information. I think the whole Mayu thing, like, because she just kind of hangs around for a couple episodes. You're like, what the fuck is she doing? You know, what
I
happened?
mean,
What?
she makes it from 6 to 11.
Yeah, you're like, okay, you know, yeah,
A girl.
yeah. I mean, because there's like that's a pretty strong deviation from like the normal, right? Because you have like characters who are in it for 1 or 2 episodes. They have, their situations, it's resolved, and then they move on, right? Like I think her inclusion with Ginty was just kind of giving a different perspective, and I could see why some people would see it as filler, but it wasn't. It's an important part of the anime because it also tells you like the other side, like what happens, like how arbiters really feel about humans, right?
They don't.
They don't exactly. Thank you, Brad.
Fuck you, Ginty.
Oh my.
That's all I have to say about that hoe.
I think it'd be really cool if they did like crossover seasons where, like, there's like some other
Is
anime where
Mashal gonna
someone
be
dies.
there? Is Mashal
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be there?
Well, it's just
I mean, they had Light,
Yeah, they had Light
whenever-
Yagami.
so they could do
Yeah.
a what do you call that spin-off where it's like Light from Death Note.
Oh, dude, that'd be so funny.
but it's just like every season it's just a new anime, but every time another character dies, they get sent to the bar, and you get their fate.
You know what I honestly like didn't connect with Death Parade was like the use of dolls, right? I kind of felt like
There was a lot. Yeah, I didn't
well,
think
I
about
felt
that.
like when they pretty much had admitted that almost every person that was there was a doll, just like it's just a soul attached to it, that type of stuff. I kind of felt like that when you learned about it, it kind of lessened the impact in certain episodes because you knew that no one was really in danger. I mean, they weren't in danger to begin with, but like
It was like psychological danger.
yeah, I kind of feel like the
So
whole
does that
like doll thing was weird to me. At
Yeah.
times.
Well, does that make the Oracle the overall creator of humankind then?
I think he is.
He's God.
Is
think
that
he-
what he is?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's the creator. Yeah.
Okay.
This is essentially like I think it would be a difficult anime for some people if like you are religious or you do have a strong faith because it's in like, what would you rather have? Like what is where do you go? Right? Would you rather play billiards and darts?
Would you rather
Play some old
play a
maid
fucking
and go
bowl, bowl with
Yes.
your organs?
or get stabbed?
Or play an arcade game, every time you get punched, you actually get punched.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
So
It was
according to
fucked
the
up.
wiki, the dummies are actually just proof that the people lived and came to the bar. I'm assuming I didn't watch that episode because I don't remember seeing that part.
They
but-
discussed that, but I just don't like. I just feel like them being dolls was like something that was kind of weird, a little bit off to me, stuff like that. Because they're.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because I
Like,
mean, you're not really
wait.
able to bring them there. They're fucking
well,
their
were
bodies
the
are
people
just
the
desecrated.
dolls?
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like their souls
like,
inhabited
they're
the
inhabiting
dolls.
the dolls, which is why they, come off as human.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find that out in what, 11? When you actually see what happens to Mayu?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the
Justice for
animation,
my girl.
the animation in Death Parade is fucking fantastic.
Oh, it's
It goes-
really
it goes-
good.
I found out that it was Madhouse that animated it.
It is
Madhouse.
Madhouse.
Oh yeah.
They did One Punch Man season 1. They nailed that shit. I was like, this is fucking brutal. Like,
As I said in my other
True that.
podcast, they put something in there.
you sent me the clip. Did you post that, by the way, at TikTok?
No, not yet. Not yet.
It's gonna be funny.
That was all the questions I had. Did you have any questions, Ken?
No, I just wanted to know. Well, I mean, I know how Jack feels about episode 12. I just want to know, like, how everyone, how people felt about that, because I felt that was the, a lot of original anime.
Very real.
A lot of original anime, like their make or break is like the final episode. Like sometimes you fucking either nail it or you miss it completely. You don't like, especially because there's consideration for a sequel. So if like, how open ended do you make it? Because technically, you could create a sequel from Death Parade. The question is like, do you want to, or do you want to see it?
Yeah, I think the way they ended it was good.
What's that?
Like as a fan, I would love a sequel.
Oh, Jack is frozen. I'm saving that picture.
Oh, okay.
I'm saving that picture so bad. Jack, I got it.
There you go, get
Jack,
another
you're
one.
freezing. There you go.
Oh, yeah, they should make a sequel, and
That's
it's called Life March.
Life
right?
March.
And it's basically it's the people that are getting reincarnated. It shows them as like giving
They actually
the
have their
children,
memories.
Yeah,
It's called Death Mashal.
Oh my god.
But Mashal
Mashal season
he never
3.
dies.
Season 2. He never
Jack, I now have the perfect screen cap. Is just you like?
Nice.
died.
It's beautiful.
I don't know why it's freezing.
Yeah, you're a little cutting in now. Just a little bit.
That's
You'll
neat.
be it. You'll be it.
Let me close some things out here.
Yeah, as a fan, I would love a sequel,
Mm.
but I think they did a fantastic job kind of
Yeah, I mean-
finalizing everything. Like I felt very content.
Yeah.
It was so good I wanted more
It's
type of thing.
it's a well written anime. You know,
Mhm.
well animated. The voice actors kill it. Like the dub is
Oh,
fantastic.
yes.
Right. I don't think
the
there's a
subs
bad.
sound better though.
What's that? Of course, sub always
subs.
sounds better, bro. I always feel like, and it's kind of crazy. Like whenever like they do like a very emotional screaming moment, like the sub is always better than the dub for some reason.
Yeah.
It always feels
Dub always feels
far
fake, which is
sadder.
crazy. Yeah.
Because like you hear like the voice breaking, or like they fucking hit
Mhm.
that pitch there where it's like silent, that type of stuff. Because that type of shit. But like, yeah, I always but the dub, I just loved it. That was great.
I don't think I watched it in dub. I have to might check it out.
I watched the dub.
Oh, I absolutely watched.
The
it in
Nona
dub.
Nona sounds familiar.
All of them sound familiar, honestly. Yeah, but Nona's in a couple of things. Yeah, the voice actress.
Mm-hmm.
It was Spider-Man.
It was Spider-Man. Who was she? Was she Spider-Man?
She was Spider-Man.
Too many
Spider-Man.
Spider-Mans.
Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Mans. I'm not the hero you want, but I'm the one you get.
Right.
Chibi, what else you got? What's else on your mind, dude? Nothing?
That was it. That was a good convo. I enjoyed it. Love Death Parade. I just want to share my love for it.
It is
That's
very
all I want.
underrated.
That's all I want.
Underrated.
Guys, go
Yeah,
watch
I'm
Death
glad you
Parade.
guys
So good.
Watch that one. I like it.
I tried.
I'm glad you
I
enjoyed it, Jack.
I remember watching the first episode. My first thought was, I need to tell Jack how sad this show is. I was like, Jack, I just want to let you know, bro, this fucking thing goes a little bit hard, man. So just if you're
But
not
it's also, I don't know. It was just like, it's sad in a way, but also it's very redeeming. So that's why I appreciated it.
well, it's sad,
Mhm.
and I mean, you can find positive qualities to it,
Yeah.
right? But usually,
Well,
it's,
it brings real problems to the
Mhm.
table too.
yeah. Well, like I said, like I mean, it's really rare, right, for animes to kind of have realistic
Mhm.
conversations.
Yeah.
And Death Parade does it, but it's pretty much it surrounds itself in like a lot of fucking really difficult topics.
Mhm.
And somehow,
What was the other one that we watched? That
Odd Taxi was the same way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Odd Taxi had like realistic conversations. They're just anthropomorphic animals, He's a walrus.
He's a well-wish. But is he really?
It's true.
I
Any questions from your chat, Chibi?
don't think so. But if anybody has any questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask. In the meantime, any recommendations for our next anime?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
We can take those as well. What's next for Pixelated Thoughts, Ken?
We're doing Baldur's Gate 3. Me,
Oh.
Yeah, we are.
you, Brad.
What
and
the?
Chris.
No, Willie Jim.
What?
He said, "Everyone be quiet."
Oh,
Be
God.
I
silent.
did
That's what he
not.
said.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Now he said it, what a dick.
Brand.
Yeah.
Patriotic said the daily life of the immortal king. I don't know that one. Damn, you see that
The
eye
eye
roll
roll.
from
The
Ken?
eye
Oh
roll, my
my god.
It's
Damn.
another overpowered MC. It's actually not bad, but I don't want to watch another overpowered MC anime for a little
We
bit.
can put that on the list. We should like make a list.
We can put it in Discord chat.
Yeah. Glaze said, "What are your honest thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen? I have a polarizing opinion. What do you think, Ken?
You would.
In terms of like the
No,
show or
Glaze.
the manga?
Yeah,
Probably the show.
I mean, I think the show is good. It's animated really well. Obviously it's a fucking BAL anime, and it's I probably like the show at this point more than I like the manga, because I feel like with the creator, I think it was announced that he was trying to kind of move on and work on to something else, which is why
Yeah.
after the Shibuya incident, the chapters afterwards feel a little bit out of place at times, and they feel a little bit rushed. And people were starting to complain because there's a certain character that kind of returns and then has like a major impact. But I feel like that character, they were just pretty much jumping from big fight to big fight without like any breathing in between. Show wise, I think like,
Oh, she said thoughts on the story. Well, she said both, but thoughts on the story.
I don't really have like a strong opinion on it. I don't think it's like anything too creative, I just think that it's essentially like every other like power scaling anime where you have like characters with no abilities who like end up being like uber powerful, that type of shit. But the difference is like they, instead of being like other shonen, it really kind of veers into like, with fuck, what was the one we were watching? Where it just kind of like it gets very dark, right? And I like that. I like the fact that like they kind of, show like the impact of, someone getting injured or killed, that type of stuff. Because I feel like a lot of shonen kind of gloss over it. Like some characters, they get revived, 2-3 times a season or some shit. And in Jujutsu Kaisen, they don't. But it also
You're just dead.
Yeah, you're just fucking dead. But like but once you start to get into like JJK, like if you've read the manga, like the story goes all fucking sorts of places, and sometimes it makes sense, and sometimes it doesn't. People just kind of go with it because the battles are so fucking good. Like there's so many iconic fights.
I mean,
I
you're
could
dead
agree,
unless
Glaze,
you
though.
revive yourself.
Yeah, you could rip your own heart out and come right fucking back, buddy.
Yeah.
Heart not required to live, essentially.
Curtis said maybe Comey can't communicate.
I don't know. Like that one's okay. Like that, it's also like 25 episodes too. It's a long one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's one of those ongoing.
Oh, I was gonna say my vote is Yamada-kun.
Which one's that one?
It's like the rom-com Yamada-kun to 9,000 or whatever.
Oh, the
I love that one. Yeah. That's just my vote. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of something more like lighthearted.
We'll save that for like next year in February.
Whatever.
You watch Konosuba finally. Yay.
Glaze also said, have you guys seen Vinland Saga? And what do you think? I've only seen like episode 1.
I love Vinland Saga.
But I heard it's very good.
There's a misconception about like the first season because it's actually a prequel.
It's a prequel, yeah.
And that people were very upset about like how season 2 was much slower, but because the writing was so strong and convincing with their characters,
yeah,
like people began to like actually love the pace because it pretty much kind of showed you, it's like Thorfinn's journey from being like this really reckless, angry teenager to like this really kind of broken individual who then realizes that the lessons his father was trying to teach him when he was younger were all true. Like you don't have any enemies. Like there's a lot of iconic moments in that fucking anime too.
I think I'll probably try it one day.
It will absolutely rip your fucking heart out at times.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Like if they're like season 2 has like a number of like scenes that were like there's like a whole speech that they have. I can't remember. I think it was the final episode, and it kind of like basically it's like it narrates like things that are happening, and then it does it over like certain significant events, and it's very powerful, very well written. So, yeah.
Okay.
As it should be.
Thank you, Brad.
Mr.
Cool.
Willie Jim said, "I'm gonna watch Reborn as a Vending Machine. I now wonder the dungeon."
Dude, I watched the first episode of that. It's not funny. It tries really,
Damn.
yeah, it tries really
Is
hard.
it
but it's-
bad?
I don't think it's bad, but it's just not, you know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I
Okay.
wanted to
I
be
don't know.
Jack. I really did. I was like, this is gonna be fucking great. And I was like, you know what? This is not. My bad.
I liked
Well,
the
I
idea.
might
The
have to
vending
stay
machine.
away from it.
So stupid.
Cries.
Because the
What about
Um,
gets
the
bullied.
masterful cat is depressed again?
Dude, that one's actually funny. That one's actually fucking funny.
I don't think
dude.
I've heard of that one.
It's pretty much like this. There's like this. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a human-sized cat. Like he's really like taking care of this his master and stuff like that. And he's fucking like, dude, it's really weird, but it's very off-putting when you see it at first. But it's actually pretty funny, pretty good.
Okay, I'll have to look at it.
So
Patriotic
it's-
said you guys should. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's basically Grumpy Cat, but the size of a bear.
Wait, I
essentially.
like that.
Essentially,
I'll
yeah.
have to look at it. I like that. Patriotic said you guys should pick a childhood anime and see if it's as good as when you were young.
That would be like
Dragon Ball Z. Woo!
Dragon.
No, I'm good.
For
No,
me?
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Probably Cowboy. I mean, all those were 26 episodes, by the way, so they're all like full length. Like, I think the anime I would probably recommend to see how everyone felt about it, because I don't know how like some people would feel about it today, how it held up. It's probably like Samurai Champloo. Like, I rewatched it. I fucking love that anime. But I want to know what like a new sets of eyes, like how they would feel about it. You know? Because it's
How many episodes is it? I can't remember.
26. Who did we talk to last? It was Chris, right? When he was like asking me like who my favorite anime director was, and I said Shinichiro Watanabe. So basically, he had Cowboy Bebop, he did Samurai Champloo, he did Space Dandy, he did Terran Resonance, he did Kids on a Slope, and he did it was another one that just recently came out a couple years ago. But he has never had a bad anime.
Yeah.
Never.
I was gonna say I know like all of those.
Everything he's touched has been like, because like his first two animes, like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, they're actually disconnected stories. Like there's an overarching theme, right? So in Samurai Champloo, it's like the hunt for the Sunflower Samurai, right? And basically, like you go on all these really crazy quests and adventures, but you're actually, what you don't notice until like they actually talk about it, is that they're actually heading toward the locations they talk about. It's just all this crazy wacky shit is happening. Like you'll go from like super serious like sequences to like really funny stuff just randomly happening. You know, you're like, what the fuck? Like there's a whole zombie episode, which is fantastic. By the way, it's probably my favorite episode. There's an episode about like baseball, which actually details a real thing that happened in Japan with the Black Ship Festival.
Oh shit.
Where like America like showed up and stuff like that. It was supposed, but like they gave like a spin out. Like they ended up playing a baseball game against each other. And then, and then it has like two, like probably the best, like one of the best final 3 episodes. Cowboy Bebop same way. Like most of the time it's just like they're just going on this adventure, that type of shit. Space Dandy's the same way. Space Dandy's a comedy. But it also has like a number of episodes that are very sad. Like Terran Resonance is not like that. That is like a straightforward fucked up anime. Like you literally follow like the bad people the entire time. Yeah. And then what's the other one that I said? Fuck.
You didn't.
Yeah, you're right, Brad. Thank you.
You know, we should make Brad pick the next episode.
Well, you know what? I was gonna say we shouldn't, but he has, you know, he'll probably Black Clover or some shit.
We want to go old school or
what's an
Whichever
old
you
school for
want.
you?
like honestly going like thinking back, there wasn't a whole lot. It was
Exactly, dude. People
But
don't
watch it-
understand Chibi. Like people don't get it. Like today,
Now-
you get like how many
Yeah.
animes? Are you like 26,
No, that's fair.
27,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, you used to
Yeah.
get like 2 a year. We're like, dude,
Yeah, no,
Cowboy
I
Bebop
definitely
came
understand.
out, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get
Rurouni
one anime.
Kenshin?
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin came out like, woo! Yu Yu
Yeah.
Hakusho.
yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, there
Inuyasha,
was
right? Like,
Oh,
Trigun,
yeah.
and
Golden Boy.
I
Who
want to
said
say there's
that?
another one.
Glaze. She said Golden Boy.
Y'all ain't watched that. Golden Boy was like, so you want to know like really like the origin of like ecchi comedy was? That's Golden Boy. Golden Boy is like a very dirty fucking anime.
Yeah, it is.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I have no baseline.
FLCL.
Fooly Cooly.
Fully
Love
Somebody
Fully
said that
Cooley.
earlier, I think.
That was me. I put
Okay,
that
I
down.
was like,
Fully
I read that
Cooley
He
acronym.
did.
Fully Cooley is 6 episodes. I don't know
Of
how
course
people are
you'd
gonna
want
feel
us to
about
watch
that
it.
because it's very fucking strange, man.
It is very
It's-
weird.
It is very weird. It can be like there are some people who like praise the shit out of it. Mostly, I think because the animation's fantastic. But like, I don't. Yeah, you might come out like, what the fuck did I just watch, bro? That's essentially how people were. It's like one of those things where you go to an art museum, right? And you're seeing like someone like stack like buckets of sand. They push the buckets over. Like that's modern art. Like what the fuck did I just look at? It's the collapse of society.
I'm sorry for anybody who likes and appreciates art.
I
Ken is a hater.
No, that's not true, dude. I like art. You're fucking
I'm
wrong.
fucking with you.
I go-
immediately got so
I
offended.
go to
Holy shit.
museums, bro.
I got so offended.
Anytime there's like a major exhibit in San
Oh.
Diego, I'll be there.
I love that. It was so fun. I love that. Nah, I went to the Louvre in Paris, and I was like, I need to learn how to
would.
appreciate art more.
Yo, what's with this lady, bro?
I literally, who the fuck this?
She looked
Me
better.
trying to look at Mona Lisa.
She looked better if she had like a little bear hat on.
Where her froggy hat? Where
How
her
come,
Guido
hey,
Guido?
how come she ain't smiling, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Where her eyebrows
They
at, though,
keep
bro?
saying, like, notice Mona Lisa's smile. Is it the fucking smirk? Like, what are you...
Me
She-
looking at the
she-
art piece behind her, which is apparently like honestly almost more famous. I forget what it's called.
She got, she got
And
the
I was like, what the
RBF.
fuck is?
She got... Guys, look, it's dogs playing cards. I get this one.
I appreciate this
This
one. I
one's
agree
funny.
with
Look
this
how
one.
happy that bulldog is. You
Looking
don't
like
know.
Bean.
Yeah.
Like Bean and Katsu.
He's got a cigar. I'd never give them cigars, guys. That's fucking cruel. It's like, what the? It's like, can we remove her, please?
Somebody come get this child.
She's
No.
like sitting there with like fucking the fanny pack and the big one. Well, let me get my camera out. No flash photography. You can't stop me.
My viewers much see this.
You said that in French. I don't speak that.
Je ne comprends pas.
Just being like the ignorant American the entire time.
Let me get my like white Air Forces
That's
and
not what-
fucking
that's not
blue
what-
jeans
That's not what
on.
that is, baby.
Red, white, and blue, motherfucker.
Hey, y'all remember when we beat y'all?
Which
Y'all
time?
remember that?
Scoreboard, baby. USA.
The eagle just
Our
screeches
show is
in the
now
back.
banned across the globe.
I single-handedly make America banned from France.
I brought some fucking real art. Pulls out the fucking don't tread on me. It's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong?
But instead of a snake, it's just like a bunch of French fries.
I got you some. Got you one of them pieces of bread. Y'all call it baguettes, y'all.
This bread out here.
Talking about croissant.
Croissant.
Throw some eggs sandwiches in there. We're good.
Where my meat at? What is this escargot?
What is this shit?
Y'all eat snails out
Y'all
here.
don't,
We
y'all,
real
don't,
meat.
y'all don't season your food. That was me in Ireland, bro. I was so fucking mad. Like,
Oh my god, bro.
uh,
I've always wanted to
Why
go
they
to Ireland,
invented
but
hot
now I'm
sauce.
scared.
that was, dude. I'll tell you a quick story. We went to Ireland, right?
Mhm.
Me and the wife, we
No, you
drove to Blarney Castle, right? We get there, we wait in line for our tickets. Like it was a weird day because like it felt like something was off. So as we were walking right toward Blarney Castle, they were like, "Hey, you got to turn left here." Like so, we went to the gardens, and then we sat there, and people were like, "Yo, apparently, like police and ambulance are on the way." What the fuck happened?
Oh.
So, in the Blarney Castle, there's like small like blocks or small areas that like have just been degraded, so they're like kind of removed, so you could fall through the top floor.
Oh,
And apparently when we were there, like we thought it was some old person who like just kind of fucking
Yeah, like
stupid fell all
fell.
the way through. It was like some 24-year-old just like straight fell through, went straight to the bottom, cracked skull open, died that day.
Oh
like,
my
we were
god.
like, what the fuck? I was like, it was like me. We were like with some tourists, and they're like, holy shit. Because we were walking over,
You're
we were
like, who's next?
we thought it wasn't as serious. Like someone might have hurt themselves.
Yeah.
But they brought they had like fucking 4 or 5 cop cars, like 2 ambulances and shit. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my
Dude. Yeah, I
god.
was like,
Did you at least get a coupon?
dude, I did actually. I was like, can I get that
rerun.
umbrella? Also, that keychain with my last name. Can I get that too? Like, thank you.
Wait, is your family Irish?
Memory.
Family?
Yeah, my last name is
Don't
Irish.
fuck you. Fuck you again.
Memory.
Family.
My last name is Irish.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Mine's Russian.
Urusha.
Dude, we should watch Bobo 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 Bobo.
The fuck you saying to me?
What is that?
It's an anime.
I don't know if I want to watch it.
It's literally
Watch
Bobo
that,
Bobo 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 Bobo.
I hate this man so much.
I literally just googled weirdest animes, and that was number 2.
Oh my
That was number 2
god.
on the list.
Yeah, I went straight for the gift shop.
I mean,
Curtis is roasting you. He said, "Man saw the ambulances leaving and went straight for the gift shop."
Where are we supposed to go, man? They were like, you can walk the gardens for a little, but it was uncomfortable because there were ambulances going back and
Yeah,
like,
it was just dead.
I was like, might as well show I was here, bro. Like, what do I take a fucking selfie? Like, Pete,
Someone died here today.
this man fell down 3 stories. He wasn't. Hey, listen. He was Irish. He wasn't American. I'm still winning.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god.
Gang, gang.
That's where we end today. Thank you guys for coming. Out of everybody, I didn't think Ken would say that, but you know.
USA.
You did say thoughtin' and plotting one time, so I'm not surprised.
What's up?
I said you did say thoughtin' and plotting one time.
I
I'm
did say
not
thought,
surprised.
bro. I have had, dude, the conversations I have with people at work when they're like, I try to be professional, and then like I have like these breaks where I'm talking to somebody, and like the Navy comes out of me and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all know how to fucking read? Are we struggling? I have to separate Gumby this shit for you motherfuckers. What does separate Gumby mean? It's like, oh, it's like, well, you know who Gumby was, your character, like real simple, real dumb. Like that's what I gotta do for y'all. Semper,
his eyes get crazy.
Semper in Latin means always. Gumby, I have to make it always dumb.
Just gotta bring it down for y'all. Shit.
I'll treat you like I used to treat some of the Marines. I'm like, which flavor crayon do you guys want?
Dude, stop. There was this meme I saw on TikTok where it was like AI like recreates Marines eating crayons. And that shit was insane. I was damn. My grandpa's rolling in his grave right now.
Dude, the dumb shit that Marines do on a daily basis is fucking insane to me. Like when you're bored, like you can't. It's like toddlers, right? When you're like out in the room or away and you're like it's quiet, like there's something going on. My kid's doing something. Same thing with Marines. I'm like, what? I was like, why the fuck is my warehouse quiet? And I'd walk around and I'd see them like
where my Marines at?
They took an axe handle, right, that they found, and they took like this scythe blade or whatever, the sickle, and they attached, they welded it, and then they were throwing it at boxes, right?
God.
But
how could this possibly go wrong?
One dude was holding the fucking box, and I was like, guys. Let's exercise. Yeah, let's exercise some type of intelligence, bro. Or I'd be walking around the warehouse and I'm like, where the fuck are my forklift drivers? And you know what they're doing? They're dueling in the back.
Okay, that's kind of fun. You gotta admit
that's
bro. That's
kind of fun.
Them fucking things are expensive, bro.
just charge them,
dude. I used to get so pissed off. One day I was walking around and I'm like, man, like one of our fucking our bay door walls was like up a little bit, and I was like, there's something wrong, like we can't like lower it. And I looked at the bottom of like where the lip of the door is, and it was bent in with forklifts with the forks and stuff. And I was like, guys, what the fuck did y'all do? It's like, we couldn't close it with the mechanism, so we like put the forks on it. And I was like, here's what I want you to do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stack all these big ass pallets around it. And I'm not gonna, because otherwise I have to make you stand watch the entire night. He's like, oh, that would suck. I'm like, I know. You fucking, you dummy.
That would suck.
When I lived on base here, the Marines on base were stuck in Phase 1 Liberty for 6 weeks.
Oh my god!
Because they were caught chasing squirrels and shaving the Marine emblem.
Yeah.
on the squirrels.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Poor babies. What the fuck?
The funniest thing I've ever seen, all right, was we'll end it on this story. I walked around my warehouse. We're supposed to be cleaning up, dude. It's 4:00. I'm like, okay. And I see everyone gathered around, and I knew that was a problem. I was like, fuck,
you're like, what's
wrong.
going on?
Yeah. And I see one of my Marines. So, like, you know, you ever see what a Palcon container is? Like just a very small square container and it has like these small. It has like very small lift, like that much, right?
Mhm.
He's like underneath it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh man, he said he saw a possum under there. I'm like, there's no fucking possums in Camp Pendleton. Sure as shit. He goes out with a possum.
You're like, well, fuck.
Looks at me. He's like, hey, am I allowed to keep it? And I was like,
What in
Are you
the
fucking-
Floridian
so
man?
he's from North
Wow.
Carolina.
That's when you say
Oh, okay.
$35.
He's from North Carolina. And I stared at him. I was like, first off, the thing was acting dead. It wasn't dead. It was just like limp.
Yeah, doing its thing.
I was like, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna walk it across the street to where we had like a whole like area, like whole canyon area. I mean, you're just gonna put it down. He's like, you sure I can't like brand it before it goes? I'm like, brand it with what? The Marine Corps symbol.
What?
Yeah, he was gonna like shave the Marine Corps symbol.
Oh my
He wanted to
God.
shave it. And I was like, no. He's like, oh man. Like, walks it
Oh
over,
man.
puts it away. He's like the whole rest of the like formation. He was like the saddest person. He was like, I
Oh,
was like,
he really
"What's
wanted
wrong?"
that
He's like, he made
possum.
me put the possum away. I was like, yes, you fucking.
That is a
inbred-
wild animal.
I was like, yes, you inbred hillbilly. Like you cannot do that shit, man.
I had to
Ruin that
release.
man's
I had to release
dream.
my best friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His best friend was like his best friend was this dude from the Virgin Islands. Like it was so weird how like
That's
they
so
got
cute.
along.
That's cute.
They were best buddies. Like
That's adorable. I'm not gonna lie.
all right. Next episode of
Oh,
Pixelated Thoughts
Please,
Thoughts
please,
will be Baldur's Gate 3. And then for the anime, if you guys want, I really do want to let the community get more involved. If Chibi's chat can just like put a list up.
I can make a Discord post.
Yeah. Give it like we'll do like whatever your top 5 is or
Or
whatever.
I could do it on Instagram.
Yeah, one of them. Oh yeah, do it on Insta.
All of them,
Do it all of them. And then we don't choose any of them.
and then do a congregate score.
It's like, oh, that's what you guys chose. We're gonna watch Hamtaro instead because it's a hamster. Oh, we need some happiness in our life. Anything else from the group? Anybody got anything else? Brad,
Sorry, what'd you say?
Nothing else here.
Nothing else. Brad, I want you to do the closing thoughts, please. Go ahead.
Closing thoughts. It was a show that I watched somewhat of. That was my thought of the show.
Yeah, you watched.
I enjoyed playing on my phone, and the intro music number was okay, even though I skipped it most of the time. This has been Chibirabbit's Down the Rabbit Hole. Everyone have a lovely evening. Good night.
Bye,
I
everybody.
unmute myself really quick.